Hello, welcome to Funk Disc Golf. Today we are going to learn someone's shot. We're going to learn a specific shot. This shot is useful, very, very useful, especially when you see the person doing it do it. They use it a lot. They use it very well. I'm going to do it once, and then I want you to tell me what, comment down below what shot you think it is. Let me know whose shot you think this is, and then we're going to break it down. That just wasn't that flippy, but you get the idea. So today we're going to talk about the specific form. This is Kevin Jones. Kevin Jones does this thing when he throws hyzer flips, where he really uses his whole body to make sure that disc is coming down on a lot of hyzer, and he's using a really flippy disc so that he can really utilize all of that rotation he's getting with his left side of his body. He's right-handed, all this left shoulder, left hip into that right, where he drives all of this into that leg. He's really working on that a lot. If you guys ever know anything about spinning and throwing disc golf, spin and throw disc golf, it's a whole philosophy. They're really big on that. They're really big on the whole this side, compact it, throw this and rotate, spin, then throw. So shout out those guys, they make good stuff. I don't know who did it. I know everybody loves the guy who made it. It's good stuff. I've watched some of it. I'm a big fan. So Kev is using a lot of that kind of action in his throw. But what he's doing is his body has different angles relating to where they're at. So the torso and up and the torso and down, waist and below, are going to be two different things. So waist and down, with his legs, he's doing a pretty standard throw. He's got his first step here, he's going at like a 45 here, he's not fully to 90. Second step, he's placing it over. Third step, he's doing the little crow hop to here, get it back onto his back foot. His back foot is on his toe. It's pretty flat. It's not this way, it's not this way, it's pretty flat. He plants in here, and the difference right here, this is where the first big noticeable change happens. So all of that looks normal. He goes boom, boom, boom. He's ready to go. He's right here. He's still got his head looking forward. When he goes down to his plant foot and he reaches back, he's going to do two things. He's going to take his torso, and he's going to bend it over a lot. He's going to turn it over a whole bunch. So his torso is like, here's flat to the ground, here's vertical. He's like, boom, he's halfway in between with his torso. But his legs are not going to also lean over like this. He's going to keep his legs where they are, and he's going to bend over that body. So the reason he's doing that is when you bend over like this, watch my right shoulder. I bend over, my right shoulder goes from here to here, and it drops down, and it lowers backwards into the power pocket. It gets further behind, so I'm loading my shoulders and I'm loading my hips here. So when he reaches back, he doesn't have to reach back as far because he's got his shoulders turned back so much when he's here. So now in this position, when he pulls through, he really accentuates this left side body, turns it into this side body, and here, he is able to load and throw with so much power because he's got everything so compact. He's not doing this big run up with wacky motions to lose energy. It's so compact. He's right here, and he gets down to like right here, and he's super low. He's probably even more deep here. He's probably even more over here than I'm doing. So he's down here, and when he pulls through just like anybody normally would, but when he pulls through, he kind of stays behind his front foot a little longer. He doesn't pull through like this and fall into it. He pulls through behind it. So he's here, and he pulls through, and he's releasing the disc out in front of him like this, and it comes out. And sometimes he doesn't even rotate on that heel. If he's throwing a softer shot, he just goes, and his foot just stays there. He'll boom, and then he'll kind of pick up to the toe, and then just kind of stand up. But if he's got a bigger throw, when he gets there and he does this, he's going to pull out to here, and after he gets through, if he really has to follow through, what's going to happen is he's going to take his arms, he's going to, after he swings this one through, rotate on that heel and put the arms up. He likes to bring them up. And the reason why he's bringing the arms back up is he's leveling his body back out. He's going from standing up nice and good to bending over excessively, throw, and now if he's still bending over excessively after the throw, he's on the ground. Just like that. Just like that. He's on the ground because he has nowhere to go. So that follow through, if he doesn't get that left arm back up and the follow through and the right arm up, he's going to fall over. Hence the slip ace at MVP. So like, that thing is super apparent. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw some shots. I got a bunch of flippy discs, and I'm gonna try to emulate this Kev Jones form as best as I can. I'm gonna start with the really slow stuff so I can get comfortable with it. And by the time we get to the drivers, I should be pretty good at doing it, pretty comfortable, and we should see some good distance out of them. So I'll start with the putters. I love this shot. It's really fun, especially when you're playing new courses and new wooden courses and you don't really know what to do. Just grab a roller disc and throw a hyzer right up the middle. You throw it on a lot of hyzer, you throw it really hard up the middle. What happens is it turns the whole way, but it doesn't really go anywhere. It just keeps going straight because it's in the middle. So let's try it out. Try some hyzers. It's a little low. Got to stand up a little more. Got to stand up a little more afterwards. It's a fun shot. That one's good. It's getting better. And you see, like, it might not feel like I'm going to get a lot out of these, but they tend to go far because you have all of your weight and power all coiled up so tightly right here, and then you go to use it, it's really easy to activate your entire body and get the snap. It's just harder to control because your body is facing here, so like a natural release point for this is going to be right there. We need a release out there, so you kind of have to like purposely grip lock a little to get comfortable with it. It's a learned feeling. And like that disc is flippy, but I threw it on enough hyzer that it's going dead straight. That's one of my favorite flippy mids. And I just threw it dead straight on that mega hyzer. Same with this one, super flippy mid. We're gonna see how flippy it actually is. When I go Kev Jones on it, that excessive angle is gonna help me out. Funny. It gives you the full flight too, because I'm actually getting a good, powerful throw on it. This is where I'm gonna save these for the end because they're really, really flippy. These are shots I would probably throw. So I'm gonna do these three in a little more reserved fashion. So remember what I mentioned a second ago, how sometimes he'll get here and he doesn't really fully follow through. And it's usually when he's throwing softer shots, and I see him doing a lot when he throws downhill. So I'm gonna throw these flippier fairway drivers. I'm gonna go hyzer flip, and I'm gonna try to like ease up on them a little so they don't go too hard, but really excessive to angle still. Gives me a nice, this disc usually when I throw it, pops up, turns, rides to the right forever. So I'm gonna get this to try to go really slowly to the left the whole way. Yeah, and I got it to stand up. It just a little bit over. Had a little bit of turn still. Oh no, I'm not doing those yet. Those are too flippy. We'll get there. Same thing, we're going for that hyzer flip. Lots of drift. And these discs, I never get hyzer on them like this. They usually turn over because I throw them flat. That's a leopard. That's a champ leopard. And it's flying like an eagle or a firebird. Straight, fade out. So I'm taking these discs that are flippy and I'm making them more overstable with this flight. So you're wondering, how does Kev Jones throw that flippy ass driver and make it do it? It's because with this kind of form, you get a better result with a flippier disc. The beefier discs aren't going to go anywhere because they're turning from like here to here. They ain't nowhere to go. If I can turn a disc, if I throw a disc here, it turns to here usually. So if I release it here, it's going to turn up to there. You'll see that when we get to the roller discs in a few throws. The last fairway driver, trying to base it right through that net. That one's not going to flip up enough, but it flips up so good and it gets so much forward push. That was low, that didn't have a lot of steam on it in terms of height and a potential with turn, but like, if you watch the pre-warm-up from here, I was struggling to get disc there, and that was lower than all those shots, and it made it there. So, all right, we're gonna go, let's see, I got 2 roller discs, and I got 2 roller discs, but these are the drivers. If I were to throw these drivers like Kev Jones, they fly like drivers, they don't fly like roller discs. These, we'll see. We're gonna go with that one later. We will start with the race. Okay, this is my roller driver. This is my flippiest driver. I have some other flippier drivers, but like they're like Blizzard bosses and stuff. Like this is very understable. I can throw this from standstill flat and have it backhand roller. Like it's very understable rate. We're gonna hyzer flip it. We're gonna try to go max D. Try to go over the soccer goals. And It's too flippy. It's too flippy. See, and I could have gone more angle. I could have gone less power, but I didn't want to do either of those. So we're gonna do either of those, and we're gonna go with this roller. Same thing, going over the goals, hopefully. It's through them, but it's not over them. It's still too flippy. Very difficult. So you got to get height under these. That's the big hard thing to do with this, is the height. Because it's still such a flippy disc, it's got to have time to flex back out. I'm going to excessive go on the height on this one. This one is the flippiest thing I own. It's a DX Leopard that's got a crack in it. It's not fully penetrated, so I can throw it all I want. But I'm going to have to throw this like it's over the trees. If you look in the disc, I'm going to throw them over those. And it's still going to roll around because it's so flippy. But you can see how I can generate a lot of power with this type of throw. And like I'm talking about, he's not throwing this that flippy. He's throwing this flippy. So this is my money flippy destroyer. If I throw this in a hyzer, in a tailwind, I can get a really good flight out of it. We've got a little bit of a right to left, so it might not be the best. But if I can keep this on hyzer the whole way, it could be. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to keep it on hyzer the whole way. No flex out of it. It's getting a little flex, but you can see how much power I'm able to achieve with something like that. Like clear over the goals, no problem. Like it's really useful to have that much power from a hyzer angle. Like he uses the shot with the flippiness all the time, and like he does it for distance, but we never see him do it when he does it all the time, and that's with an overstable disc for an upshot. So like I'm going to do the same thing now. I'm going full send up out in the air to the right on a hyzer like this with like a Firebird. This is an Ati. Just going full send up there out in the sky. And I think I'm going to get the right amount of distance I need to get to the goal. The headwind might push me a little left and backwards a little, but we'll see. I think with a 400 plus foot of power, Kev Jones power angle, I can get this Ati to go about 300 feet. And that's the goal. We want to translate power levels from one shot into others and make sure it makes sense. I just full send. It's probably not going to make it. Like I said, short left, a little push back, but it's pretty close. And so I just translated a very easy shot, what I think is easy, throwing that Kev Jones hyzer. I just have a lot of experience, a lot of hyzer. I love flippy discs. Translated that into throwing an overstable disc on such an angle that it doesn't get me a skip. So I'll do two more and then we'll call it a day. I'm going to throw this Halo Destroyer. I'm going to throw it flat, and we're going to see how it skips. Nice and low, do a little hyzer, let's see how that skip is. It skips a little bit. It's kind of thick out there. So now I'm going to go hyzer, mega hyzer, get a lot more. When it hits, it's probably not going to do much. It's probably going to go boom, or it's going to go boom, boom. We'll see. More angle, less skip. It was comparable skip, but the goal, I'll do one more. I'll get one like vertical so you can see it. See how that one lands. Just kind of stops. So like using that angle with an overstable disc is going to help you hit a green that might be fast and stop you from skipping off of it. So very useful. I see a lot of guys do that on these golf courses I'm playing here in Washington. A lot of guys you got a green and I'm throwing a putter like a zone or something 200 feet and they're just taking Firebird and they're just like way up there, tombstone 10 feet from the basket. So yeah, that's how Kev Jones throws his hyzers, and hopefully you can use this shot to figure out how to get that extra hyzer flip distance. I recommend trying this shot out whenever you have a really strong tailwind, it is completely wide open, and you grab your flippiest driver. Those are the three credentials you need to have happen before you want to try this shot. Grab your flippiest driver, make sure you got a nice good tailwind, and make sure you're not going to lose your disc when you accidentally throw a roller or a mega hyzer. The last thing with this is, let's say this disc is flippy, but let's say I get it a little bit nose up, a little bit too much hyzer. It's gonna go, you think flippy. Nah, it's gonna try to turn and then it's gonna fizzle out. No. Flippy on stalled out hyzer means I'm going so far to the left you won't even imagine it. So I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to stall this out and get it to go way left. Oh, I didn't threw it too hard. But yeah, it stalls out, but watch how much sail over it's gonna have right there. Boom. All that sail over. Like, imagine if I threw it just on a hyzer and did that. I got one more, I can do it. Same thing, I'll try to not overpower it. Right there. So this is now, it's gonna sail left. It's gonna get a lot of movement left that we don't want. We don't want all that left movement. It was to the right of the goal when it was started falling, and it's 30 feet left of the goal after it lands. So good luck with that. Hopefully that helps. Have a good rest of your day.